let the thoughts be enough for now. Here's the thing. You have to make the best that you can of where you are in relationship to it. And when you make the best of where you are, even though it's not really enough because there will always be more, it's enough for right now because you can find balance in it, then that's what we mean by enough. We don't mean settling for less than you want, because you can't give up your desire, but you can give up your resistance. And when you give up your resistance, then it's enough for now. And then it becomes more right away, because the only thing that's keeping enough from being more is resistance, because it's not enough. That makes sense? So if not enough can be enough, then it will be more. But if not enough is not enough, it can't be more. You get it? It would help you to cash in some of your vibrational chips, because that's really where everything's coming from anyway. So are you telling us that your partner is using the evidence of not enough money as his reason to feel what?
That it can't happen.
So what you're saying is, so Abraham, I get it that thoughts are turning to things, and thoughts will turn to ideas, thoughts will turn to rendezvous, thoughts will turn to finding property, thoughts will turn to dollars. But since the thoughts haven't turned to the dollars yet, then I doubt the outcome altogether.
Yes.
We really want to talk about this with all of you. We can stand here, and we do often, and express to you the laws of the universe, and we often express to you our knowing that what you desire is coming into place. But for so many of you, because words don't teach, it's just so many words. But when you've had the experience of having a desire and knowing that you weren't up to speed with the desire, but somehow focusing in a way that even though all the pieces hadn't manifested yet, you still felt okay about it. And because you still felt good in the process, you stayed in the receiving mode, which means you kept receiving the next idea and the next idea, so you had good timing. And then you were someone standing in the place of witnessing the unfolding, the thoughts turning to the things, until what you wanted came about. Isn't that a delicious way to live?
It really is, yes.
Our point is, don't worry about someone else who can't take your word for it, because words don't teach. But just keep teaching through the clarity of your own example. Just keep being sure yourself, or expectant yourself. Do you understand that you have two perspectives? That of your inner being, which includes all that you've asked for up to the very last request, and then how you're doing in terms of your beliefs about it. And do you get it, that it's sort of logical that as humans, your beliefs about it would be like your partner's are, sort of based upon current manifestation. But things can't be based upon current manifestation, or nothing could evolve, could they? You got to be able to see past what is, because if you only see what is, then you just keep regurgitating more of what is. We're having this conversation with Esther the other day, and she recalls hearing us talk for years about positive aspects. And she sort of thought that positive aspects meant in every person or situation there are aspects that are positive and aspects that are negative, and just look for the positive aspects, and that is in part what we mean. But what we mean is look for the aspects in whatever you're giving your attention to that lets you be mutual with your own inner being. Now, this is where this is going to start to make a lot of sense to you. No other person on this planet is going to be mutual with you on every subject. And in the quest for partnership, so often what you do, let's say you feel this way about something and someone else feels a different way, in your desire to be understood by that other person, in your desire to be heard by that other person, often you work for mutuality with them. But what happens is you mess up your mutuality with your inner being. Does that make sense? So you give up the only true mutuality that you will ever really be able to accomplish and maintain for something that moves about so much. And that's why subjects of relationships or co-creating seem hard to you. They don't need to, because your true power is in your alignment with this leverage of this energy that creates worlds. And the other person has no part in messing up your relationship with your inner being and with everything you want, unless you misunderstand what true partnership is. And what true partnership is, we know that if you have the ability to look for positive aspects in your partner, that what that means is you're finding things in him that you and your inner being are already in agreement with. And it doesn't have to be all of them. There could be 9 things that you're out of whack with, and 1 thing that you are really in alignment with, and you could have a sensational relationship with your ability to focus upon that 1 out of 10 things.
When he says, I don't know how we can get $4 million in the next 2 weeks before somebody else buys it.
There is logic based upon what he has observed in life. There is logic in that. What does hearing that from him, what feeling does it cause within you? And we're going to ask that in a different way. Does it produce a feeling of satisfaction or a feeling of dissatisfaction?
Dissatisfaction.
All right, so a feeling of dissatisfaction, but do you know the dissatisfaction isn't because of what he believes. The dissatisfaction is because you joined him in that thought and you left
There's a lot of momentum in that thought, so it's really easy to activate.
Well, there's momentum all over the planet in that thought, but that really does not matter very much, does it? If you have decided at our encouragement to be someone who is, for the most part, really looking for satisfying thoughts, then are you capable of finding a more satisfying thought? Do you think you're capable of finding a more satisfying thought than the unsatisfying thought that he has presented to you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Try to make this about changing the feeling of a little discouragement to something that's more satisfying, such as, well, you never know, all kinds of things can happen. The universe is really on our side. Our inner being's all over this. Cooperative components are being gathered. Thoughts are turning to things. Maybe not this red hot minute, it's not ready to pop, but it will pop. And doesn't it feel good to think like that? Doesn't it feel good to think about being there or somewhere like that in good time? Are any of these thoughts satisfying?
Oh yeah, very much so.
And so if that's true, and we can feel that it is, if those thoughts are satisfying to you, then what that means is the thought is enough for right now. And you're not crippling it, you're not killing it, you're not working against it, you're not starting momentum that works against it. You're encouraging it to continue to unfold by looking for a positive aspect about it. You could change the subject altogether, but we know how you all are. When you get hold of an idea and you want it to come about, you work against yourself without even knowing you're doing it, because you try to push things into being before there's a vibrational alignment. You are invincible. You can be or do or have anything that you want. And the more moments in time during a day that you look for mutuality with your inner being, which is what the feeling of satisfaction is, satisfaction and more, then the more stable you stand. You said it so well. I guess I'm really not a vibrational match to what I want, or we will be living there now. Well, yeah, you would be living there now. Or you could say, I'm in the process of being a vibrational match to that. These thoughts are turning to things and I'm coming along the way of it and having a really good time watching the universe reflect back to me what I am a match to. Whew, it's so much fun, because we are encouraging you to be the extension of your own source and the individual creator of your own experience, where you don't spend too much time trying to influence or control what others are doing. Because when you understand your own point of attraction and you understand that environment is big enough for everyone to create their own reality, then you don't believe that you have to control the circumstances of others in order to have the reality that you want. It is my desire to focus myself moment by moment into feelings of satisfaction, because that feeling of satisfaction and more is my indication of my being in the receiving mode. And when I'm in the receiving mode, then my point of influence is mighty, because When I'm in concert with the energy that creates worlds, when I team up with my inner being, and my point of attraction and the point of attraction of my inner being is one and the same, then I have big time attraction going on. If I stay there and I'm consistently there and I get the momentum going there so that I not only feel satisfied, I feel passion, I feel exhilaration, then the cooperative components that are being gathered by law of attraction, and I'm standing over there with my inner being, and so law of attraction is responding to the singularity of us. There's no split energy of me and me. There's no split energy of my non-physical merry band, a powerful group of non-physical energies. When you find your vibrational equivalency with your own inner being, then you've got one point of attraction, so you're not working against yourself. That's really the point that we're making. By coming into alignment with who you are, then you're not working against yourself. And when you're not working against yourself, you are as powerful as you could possibly be.